So I've been pondering mistakes and if there can be any such thing. So if we can consider the topic of divine timing and the fact that everything happens at just the right time and that coincidences are a myth, then if we would have to take that point one step further to examine the validity of a mistake. If everything happens as it should, and all time, every time is the right time, and if God makes no mistakes, then that means that the mistakes that we make aren't really mistakes. So we can mourn decisions. We can wish we would have done things differently. We can see where we've made decisions that perhaps we're ashamed of or we're not happy with. But the actual event, the actual decision, it cannot be a mistake. So, I know that when I first started pondering this, my mind went to the fact that, okay, well, what about abuse? What about crimes against children? What about accidents and rape and things like that nobody really wants to talk about, but it happens? What about these? And I'm here to say that while the events aren't what anybody would wish for another human being, those events catalyze the life of another. And if we can accept the fact that we have a destiny and that great works begin in the worker, then the events that form us, the trials, the tribulations, the trauma, without it, we would not become exactly what it is we're meant to become. And so when I say great works begin in the worker, that means you have to go through the things you're going through so that whenever your destiny calls, whenever that moment comes, you make the right decision. You know, we all move through this existence responding to our history, reacting to what we've learned as safe, not safe, this, that, and the other. That work that we do inside cultivates within us an environment that causes us to respond in the way that we do. And so somebody yesterday was talking about chains of events, chances, and we need every scenario that we find ourselves in, from a child to an adult. There's a reason why we live through them. There's a reason why we have that. We can all wish that we didn't have to learn that lesson in that way. But sometimes you just need to be caught off guard to grow. We don't grow in the safe, warm environment of our comfort zone. We grow through stress, through adversity, through trauma. You think about a plant that's growing, like in Indiana, we get strong winds. The plants that withstand that constant batter of wind, they become the strongest, and they produce the best fruit, crop, whatever. So I want you to re-examine every single mistake that's ever happened in your life. And I want you to look at it with fresh eyes. Where you are now is not where you're going to end up. You may be in the midst of it. Can you step outside for some perspective? Remove yourself from the situation for some perspective. And perhaps surrender to the fact that you're in this tangle to learn how to escape. The maze is there to teach you. We can't hate any event that forms us and still love ourselves at the end of the day. So we can grieve for things not going the way that we hope. We can listen to our feelings when they tell us that we really want it in another way. But we can also look for the lesson. And we can also understand that there's no such thing as a mistake. Only lessons. So if you find that you're repeating lessons, it's because you're missing the point. You gotta dig in, go within to find out what you're missing. And I'm sitting on this too. We all carry stuff inside that we tell ourselves, I wish I wouldn't have made that mistake. I wish I wouldn't have said this to them, or I wish I wouldn't have made that decision. But if we flip back on it and say, okay, well, what have I done since then? What actions have I taken that are a result of me making that choice? How have I grown? How have I changed? What did my back against the wall lead me to do? And I had lost it and I was trying to fake it earlier in the video. That's what the point is that I was talking with a friend yesterday about, is if we received everything we wanted just as we wanted it, we would never be inspired to go further. There would be nothing to work for. There would be nothing to strive towards. If it was just handed to us, would we make the decisions that we've made that maybe brings light and love and peace to others? No, we wouldn't. You know why? Because we would be comfortable in our little bubble of happiness, and we wouldn't be broadcasting out. We wouldn't be sending our energy out. And a lot of people would not get what they need from our lessons and from our light. Believe me, I want what I want when I want it. but I also can accept that perhaps me not getting it is for the greater good. Just think on it, okay? See you next time.